Lucas had always been the kind of guy who thrived on absurdity. His life was a series of ridiculous mishaps strung together like a neon garland, each more outrageous than the last. When he accidentally dropped his phone into a fountain while trying to get the perfect selfie, he laughed it off. "Well, at least I can't get distracted by notifications underwater," he joked to the bewildered onlookers. But as he stood there, staring at the shimmering depths, it was the unexpected plunge into adventure that truly captivated him. On this particular day, Lucas was exploring the outskirts of a forest rumored to hold hidden wonders. Armed with nothing but a backpack filled with snacks and a camera, he felt ready for anything, or so he thought. As he wandered deeper into the woods, he imagined all the content he could create: mysterious forest adventures, lost and found, a journey of self-discovery. His mind was racing with hashtags when he stumbled upon something peculiar: a swirling, glowing portal nestled between two enormous trees. It looked like a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie, complete with ethereal sounds that made his heart race with excitement. "Oh, this is going to be great for the blog," he exclaimed, hardly able to contain his enthusiasm. With a combination of bravado and foolishness, Lucas stepped toward the portal, narrating his actions as if he were already filming. "And here we have the magical gateway to adventure." But before he could strike a heroic pose, the ground beneath him seemed to vanish, and with a comical yelp, he was sucked into the portal, arms flailing like a windmill caught in a storm. When he landed, it wasn't with the grace of a hero but rather a graceless thud, face first into something soft and unexpectedly warm. "What the?" Lucas groaned, lifting his head to find himself surrounded by a bizarre landscape that looked like a dream gone awry. The colors were vivid and surreal: bright pink trees, fields of lavender grass that swayed rhythmically, and fluffy clouds floating just above his head. Lucas couldn't help but laugh. "Great, I've tripped into a watercolor painting," he exclaimed, brushing the dirt off his clothes. As he picked himself up, Lucas noticed a strange sight: a group of people, no, souls, laying around, completely still. They were dressed in odd costumes that resembled everything from historical figures to whimsical creatures. One particularly rotund fellow was dressed as a giant blueberry, snoozing peacefully. "This place is either a dream or a really weird party," Lucas muttered. Just then, a voice broke through his musings. "Welcome to the realm of the sleepers." A figure emerged from behind a nearby tree, a woman with bright blue hair and oversized glasses, adorned in a mismatched outfit that seemed to be a collection of dream-related accessories. "I'm Celia, your guide through this ridiculous nightmare." She said it with a cheeky smile, clearly enjoying the irony. "Ridiculous nightmare? You mean I'm not just dreaming?" Lucas asked, trying to wrap his head around the surrealism of the moment. Celia shrugged. "That depends. If you don't wake up soon, you might just join the rest of these sleepy souls." She gestured dramatically to the surrounding figures, who were blissfully oblivious to the chaos around them. Lucas gulped. "Okay, not ideal. So how do I wake up?" "Ah, that's the fun part," Celia said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "You need to find the awakener. But first, you'll have to navigate through the challenges of this realm. It's full of danger, humor, and possibly some ice cream." "Ice cream?" Lucas perked up, momentarily distracted from his dire situation. "Just kidding. But there are nightmare spirits lurking about," she said, rolling her eyes. "They'll try to put you to sleep permanently. Trust me, you don't want that." "Well, I've had my fair share of nightmares," Lucas said with a chuckle, "but this one takes the cake." With that, the pair set off, Celia leading the way as they navigated the whimsical terrain filled with sleepwalking beasts and dreamlike illusions. The first challenge they encountered was a field of sleeping saplings. These peculiar plants had tiny faces that snored loudly, causing tremors in the ground with each exhale. "If we wake them up, they'll go back to their nightmare of being pruned," Celia whispered. "But if we don't, they'll snore us to sleep." Lucas eyed the saplings, each one swaying gently as they dreamed. "Well, I've always wanted to be a hero," he said, stepping forward. "How hard can it be?" He shouted, "Hey, you little sleepyheads! Wake up!" The result was immediate chaos. The saplings shot upright, their tiny faces contorted in alarm, and then they began to scream in unison. "Why would you do that?" Celia yelled, scrambling to shield her ears. Lucas panicked, waving his hands. "I thought that was the plan." He quickly began to backtrack, but the saplings, now awake, began to chase him. It was a scene of slapstick humor, Lucas running in circles, dodging the tiny, leaf-covered pursuers while Celia burst into laughter at the absurdity of it all. "Now you see what I meant by challenges," she gasped between giggles. "You're going to need a better plan." "I'm thinking of a running plan," Lucas shouted as he finally managed to escape the tiny plant monsters. After their comical escape, Lucas and Celia shared a moment of relief, their laughter echoing in the vibrant landscape. "So, how do we find this awakener?" Lucas asked, still catching his breath. "Simple," Celia replied, regaining her composure. "We follow the sound of dreams." As they walked, Lucas found himself engrossed in the vibrant sights and sounds of the realm. The air was filled with a melodic hum, and strange, colorful creatures danced around them, some of which resembled his childhood toys come to life. "This place is nuts," he exclaimed. "But I can't help but love it." "Just wait until you see the roller coaster of emotions," Celia quipped, leading him down a winding path. Their journey continued, filled with bizarre encounters. They met a trio of sleepy-eyed turtles who offered unsolicited life advice in the slowest manner imaginable, their wisdom punctuated by long yawns. "Slow and steady wins the nap," one mumbled sleepily, causing Lucas to stifle a laugh. Eventually, they reached a grand, swirling vortex that emanated an otherworldly glow. "This is the entrance to the Awakener's lair," Celia explained, her tone turning serious. "But be warned, the nightmare spirits are drawn to it. They know we're coming." "Great," Lucas said, his bravado faltering. "I really don't want to end up as one of those saplings." "Just stay close to me and remember, laughter is the best weapon," Celia encouraged, a glint of determination in her eyes. As they entered the vortex, Lucas felt a rush of excitement mixed with apprehension. The world around them shifted, revealing a carnival-like atmosphere with colorful lights and whimsical music. It was chaotic, dizzying, and utterly enchanting. At the center of the carnival stood a figure that immediately caught Lucas's attention, the Awakener, a tall, eccentric being with wild hair and a coat that seemed to change colors with each movement. "Welcome, welcome," the Awakener called out, his voice booming with a playful energy. "You've come to play, haven't you?" "Play?" Lucas repeated, taken aback. "I'm just trying not to sleep forever." "Ah, but to wake the sleepers, one must first embrace the joy of dreams." The Awakener's grin was infectious, and despite the looming threat of the nightmare spirits, Lucas felt a flicker of hope. "Let's see if you're worthy of awakening those slumbering souls." Lucas took a deep breath, suddenly feeling the weight of his mission. "Okay, what's the game?" The Awakener clapped his hands, and the carnival erupted with activity. The first game was a series of absurd challenges involving juggling rubber chickens, racing on giant marshmallows, and navigating a maze of spinning teacups. The humor was relentless, and despite the odds, Lucas found himself laughing through the madness. As the games progressed, Lucas realized that each challenge was less about winning and more about embracing the ridiculousness of the moment. He stumbled, he laughed, and with Celia cheering him on, he found a rhythm that made the chaos feel exhilarating. Finally, after a particularly ludicrous game involving synchronized swimming with imaginary fish, the Awakener summoned them back. "You've proven your spirit, young dreamer," he declared. "But to truly awaken the sleepers, you must confront your own nightmares." With that, the atmosphere shifted. The carnival faded, replaced by dark shadows that began to close in around them. Lucas's heart raced as he felt the presence of the nightmare spirits creeping closer, their whispers echoing his doubts and fears. "Lucas!" Celia shouted, her voice filled with urgency. "Remember the laughter. Don't let them pull you in." As the spirits surrounded him, Lucas took a deep breath and recalled the absurdity of their journey. He thought of the saplings, the turtles, and the games that had brought him so much joy. With a grin, he yelled, "You call this a nightmare? I've had worse mornings." The spirits hesitated, confused by his audacity. Lucas seized the moment, spinning around and launching into an impromptu dance, exaggerating every movement with wild gestures and goofy expressions. Celia joined in, their laughter ringing out like a beacon in the darkness. As they danced, the nightmare spirits began to falter, their forms flickering as the joy of the moment pushed against their shadows. "Keep it up!" Celia shouted, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "They can't stand the light of laughter." With renewed determination, Lucas continued to dance, the absurdity of the moment energizing him. The nightmare spirits writhed, caught between the pull of their darkness and the brightness of joy that surrounded Lucas and Celia. The final moment came when Lucas took a leap, twirling through the air with an exaggerated flourish. As he landed, the spirits erupted in a cacophony of confused howls, their forms dissolving into harmless wisps of shadow. The laughter faded into silence, replaced by a warm glow that enveloped Lucas and Celia. "You did it!" the Awakener exclaimed, appearing once more in a burst of confetti. "You've awakened not just the sleepers but also the strength within yourself." As the carnival transformed back into the vibrant landscape of the realm of the sleepers, Lucas felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. He had faced the darkness and emerged, not as a hero but as a dreamer, someone willing to embrace the absurdity of life. "Now, let's wake those sleepy souls." Lucas grinned, ready to take on the next challenge, and thus, their adventure continued, filled with laughter, joy, and the promise of awakening a world trapped in slumber. With renewed determination, Lucas and Celia set off toward the group of sleeping souls, each one resting in serene oblivion amidst the vibrancy of the realm of the sleepers. The air shimmered with potential, and the colors of the landscape seemed to pulse in rhythm with their hearts. "Where do we start?" Lucas asked, his excitement bubbling over. "Do we just wake them up like an alarm clock?" Celia laughed, a bright, melodic sound that seemed to dance through the air. "Not quite. Each soul is unique, and they have different dreams holding them captive. We need to find their personal keys, those memories or experiences that resonate with them. That's what will awaken them." Lucas nodded, his mind racing. "So, we're like dream detectives?" "Exactly. We'll investigate their dreams and find the clues to wake them up. Let's start with the blueberry guy." She pointed at the rotund figure still nestled on the ground, oblivious to the world around him. As they approached, Lucas couldn't help but chuckle at the sight. "What do you think his dream is? A fruit salad convention? Let's find out," Celia said, kneeling beside the sleeper. She reached out, placing a hand gently on his shoulder. Instantly, the atmosphere shifted, and the sounds of a bustling market flooded their ears. They were transported into the dreamscape of the Blueberry Man. The scene unfolded like a carnival of flavor, vibrant and chaotic. Lucas found himself surrounded by towering fruit displays, each more extravagant than the last. The air was thick with sweetness, and the sky was a brilliant blue, matching the color of the dreamer. "Welcome to the berry bash," a disembodied voice announced. Lucas looked around, trying to find its source. Suddenly, a parade of dancing fruits burst onto the scene, twirling and spinning in perfect harmony. Lucas couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. "Looks like we've hit the jackpot," Celia exclaimed, eyes sparkling with delight. "Do you think we need to join the dance?" Lucas asked, already moving his feet to the infectious rhythm. "Definitely. This might be how we awaken him," Celia replied, her enthusiasm contagious. Without hesitation, they jumped into the dance, mimicking the exaggerated movements of the fruit performers. The music pulsed around them, and Lucas felt a surge of joy course through him. As they danced, the blueberry man's snores morphed into a melody, and gradually, he began to stir. With each spin and twirl, the vibrancy of the dream enveloped him, and soon, his eyes fluttered open. "Whoa! What's happening?" he exclaimed, looking around in a mix of confusion and delight. "You were sleeping through the berry bash," Lucas said, still caught up in the rhythm. "I don't remember being invited," the man replied, laughing as he took in the scene. "Who are you?" "I'm Lucas, and this is Celia. We're here to wake you up," Lucas shouted, the excitement bubbling over. With a playful wink, Celia gestured to the surrounding fruits. "Join the party. Your friends are waiting." The blueberry man beamed, shaking off the remnants of sleep. "I can't believe I slept through my own party." He started to dance, and Lucas and Celia cheered him on. As the trio celebrated, the dream began to fade, the vibrant colors blending into wisps of mist. With one final spin, they were pulled back into the realm of the sleepers. "Wow! That was amazing," the blueberry man said, his face alight with joy. "Thank you for waking me up. I'm Bert, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Bert," Lucas said, his grin wide. "We still have more souls to awaken. Count me in." "I've been stuck in that dream for ages," Bert replied, clapping his hands with enthusiasm. They set off together, a newfound energy coursing through their group. The next soul lay nearby, a young woman with cascading red hair, her face serene as she drifted in slumber. "This one looks like she's having a peaceful dream," Lucas noted. "Let's see what's going on in there," Celia suggested. She knelt beside the woman, placing a hand on her shoulder. The world shimmered again, and Lucas found himself in a tranquil meadow, the scent of wildflowers filling the air. "Welcome to my dream," the woman's voice rang out, cheerful and bright. She appeared before them, dressed in a flowing dress made of petals, her laughter ringing like chimes. "I'm Rose, and I love it here." "Nice to meet you, Rose," Lucas said, admiring the beauty of the dream. "It's lovely." "It is, but I need to wake up and take care of my garden," she replied, a hint of sadness creeping into her voice. "I've been stuck here for too long. What if we help you garden right here?" Celia proposed, her mind racing with possibilities. "Yes. Let's plant some flowers," Rose exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. With a wave of her hand, flowers began to sprout around them, each blooming in vibrant colors. The meadow transformed into a magical garden, filled with fragrant blooms and twinkling lights. Lucas, Celia, and Bert joined Rose in planting seeds, digging into the soft earth and laughing as they worked. As they planted, Lucas shared stories about his own garden failures, how he once tried to grow tomatoes and ended up with a crop of weeds instead. "I think the weeds were the real winners there," he joked, causing Rose to giggle. With each seed they planted, Rose's face lit up with joy. "You're right. Gardening should be fun. I've forgotten how to enjoy it." Finally, as they finished planting, Rose took a deep breath, looking around at her vibrant garden. "Thank you, my friends. This is what I needed to wake up." In an instant, the meadow shimmered, and Lucas felt the familiar pull back to the realm of the sleepers. Rose. You did it. Celia cheered as they returned, the young woman now wide awake and smiling brightly. I'm so grateful. Let's find more, she exclaimed, and they continued their journey, their group now growing stronger. Next, they approached an elderly man sleeping on a bench, a kind smile on his face. This one looks peaceful, Lucas observed. Let's check it out. Celia suggested, placing her hand on his shoulder. The scene shifted, and they found themselves in a quaint little town, bustling with activity. Ah, home sweet home, the elderly man said, appearing beside them, his voice rich with nostalgia. I'm Harold. I used to love playing chess in the park. Let's play. Bert said eagerly, glancing around for a chess set. With a wave of Harold's hand, a chessboard materialized in front of them, pieces magically floating into position. The town buzzed with life, and a crowd began to gather, cheering as they watched the game unfold. Make your move. Harold encouraged, his eyes sparkling with excitement. The group joined in, each taking turns moving pieces and calling out strategies. Laughter echoed as they engaged in friendly banter, with Lucas making a bold move that sent the crowd into a frenzy. I believe I've got you cornered, he declared, eliciting cheers from the onlookers. As the game progressed, Harold's smile widened, and Lucas could see the joy returning to his eyes. I had forgotten how much I loved this, Harold said, chuckling heartily. Thank you for reminding me. With one final move, Lucas declared victory, and the crowd erupted in applause. Harold's laughter mingled with the cheers, and just like that, they were pulled back to reality. Thank you for the game, Harold exclaimed, his eyes twinkling. I'm ready to rejoin the world. Their group continued to grow, now filled with excitement and determination. The bond they shared deepened with every soul they awakened, laughter echoing through the vibrant landscape. As they wandered, they approached a mysterious figure draped in shadows, standing apart from the rest. Is that one asleep, too? Lucas asked, a hint of unease creeping into his voice. Let's find out, Celia replied, her tone serious. They moved cautiously toward the figure, sensing an air of melancholy surrounding him. As Celia reached out to touch the figure's shoulder, the atmosphere shifted, and darkness enveloped them. Lucas felt a chill run down his spine. The scene morphed into a desolate landscape, filled with swirling shadows and ominous whispers. Welcome to my nightmare, the figure spoke, his voice low and haunting. As the darkness cleared, they could see a young man, his face a mixture of sorrow and regret. I'm Elijah. What are you dreaming about? Lucas asked, his heart aching at the sight of the young man's pain. Elijah sighed deeply. I'm trapped in memories of failure. I lost my way a long time ago. What if we help you face those memories? Celia offered gently. The shadows around them shifted, revealing moments from Elijah's past, times of missed opportunities and heart-wrenching decisions. Lucas felt a pang of empathy as he watched, understanding the weight of regret. Let's turn this into something different, Lucas said, taking a step forward. You're not defined by those moments. They're just part of your story. With a flick of his wrist, he conjured a vivid memory of success, a moment where Elijah had triumphed against all odds, smiling and thriving. Look! You've accomplished so much. The shadows flickered at the light of Lucas's memory, and slowly, Elijah's sorrow began to lift. I forgot that I had succeeded, too, he said, his voice trembling. I've been so focused on my failures. Let's fill this place with your victories, Celia encouraged. Every memory is a part of you. One by one, they conjured memories of joy, laughter, and triumphs, filling the dark landscape with light. As each memory appeared, the shadows began to recede, and Elijah's face transformed from sorrow to hope. Thank you for reminding me, he said, tears of gratitude shining in his eyes. I didn't know I could still feel this way. With a surge of warmth, they were pulled back to the realm of the sleepers. Elijah stood among them, a renewed sense of purpose radiating from him. I'm ready to wake up, he declared, and their group embraced him, the bond of shared experiences growing stronger. As they continued their journey, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the landscape. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter and joy, the essence of their adventure echoing through the realm of the sleepers. One by one, they awakened more souls, each experience rich with humor and connection. The realm transformed with each awakening, bursting with color and life. Finally, they reached a serene pond, where a figure floated lazily on the water's surface. "This must be the last one," Lucas mused, squinting to see. "Let's see what we can do," Celia replied, kneeling beside the pond. She touched the water, and the world shifted once more. They were transported into a tranquil dreamscape filled with gentle ripples and soft light. A serene voice greeted them. "Welcome, friends. I'm Marina." "What a beautiful dream!" Lucas exclaimed, marveling at the scene. "It is, but I'm afraid I've been hiding here for too long," Marina replied, her voice tinged with sadness. "I've become so comfortable that I don't want to leave." "Marina, you can still enjoy your dream while waking up," Celia encouraged. "You don't have to hide anymore. Let's have a celebration," Lucas suggested, his voice full of enthusiasm. "We can throw a dream party right here." With that, they conjured decorations and a feast fit for a celebration, vibrant colors filling the scene as music echoed around them. The atmosphere transformed into a joyous gathering, and Marina's smile began to return. As they danced and celebrated, the weight of Marina's fears began to lift. "You're right. I can embrace both worlds," she laughed, twirling in delight. With one final flourish, the dreamscape faded, and they found themselves back in the realm of the sleepers. Marina stood among them, wide awake and glowing with newfound energy. "I can't thank you enough. This was the most beautiful celebration," she exclaimed, with their hearts full and spirits high. Lucas, Celia, Bert, Rose, Harold, Elijah, and Marina stood together, their group united in purpose. They had awakened the souls, bringing joy and laughter back to the realm. But as they looked around, they noticed the landscape shifting once more. The colors brightened, and a soft light illuminated the path before them. "What's happening?" Lucas asked, feeling a sense of wonder wash over him. "The Awakener is summoning us," Celia replied, a smile spreading across her face. "We've completed our journey." As they followed the glowing path, they arrived at a majestic gateway, shimmering with light. The Awakener stood there, arms outstretched, welcoming them. "You've done well, my friends. You've proven that laughter and joy can awaken even the deepest slumbers." Lucas felt a swell of pride and gratitude as they approached. "Thank you for this journey. I never thought I could make such a difference," he said. "Remember, the power of connection is stronger than you know. Carry this lesson with you," the Awakener advised, his eyes sparkling with wisdom. With a wave of his hand, the gateway opened, revealing a bright light that beckoned them forward. "Ready?" Celia asked, her voice full of excitement. "More than ready," Lucas replied, feeling a surge of anticipation. As they stepped through the gateway, a rush of warmth enveloped them. They emerged into a world bursting with life, filled with color and laughter. "I can't believe we did it," Lucas shouted, spinning around to take in the beauty of the new world. "Thank you for everything," the group cheered, their voices echoing with joy. With smiles on their faces, they walked together into the vibrant new world, ready for whatever adventures awaited them next. Lucas felt a sense of belonging, knowing that laughter, friendship, and courage would always guide their way. And so, their story continued, each moment richer than the last, filled with the promise of new beginnings and endless possibilities.